Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Hi Kenny.
Hi, Profil. What are we looking at today?
Now today we'll discuss, you have some AWS queries, right? So let's discuss about what is
Hmm,
your use case and let's
hmm.
discuss about it, like AWS, which service you want to choose and what are the thought process behind it.
Okay, great. Yeah. So me and a friend, we were just, doing some small kind of a application that we're building. It's kind of like a software as a service kind of a thing, or might go there, not sure. So in the initial phase, we have some UI, which we are doing in Svelte, which can be, any UI like React or just anything. And then in the API side, I am having a REST API built in Kotlin side. And for the database, I'm thinking of something like a Postgres database. So we want to have some way of putting this online, and we need to be able to have people do authentication. Like people should be having login, and ideally, if we don't need to implement login, that would be great. And we also want to have the option to send emails to the users who are logging in, or based on certain trigger that might happen in the app, we want to able to send email. So we are looking at or we're trying to understand why we chose Amazon AWS is that my friend, he has some experience with AWS in ML related stuff. So it is like he's used some SageMaker or something like that. So I don't really have much idea about AWS, or how to, what EC2 instance or size we need for this, or we just want to understand what is the cheapest, or what is the fastest way that we can get something out, because nobody would be paying in the initial term, right? So rather than spending a lot of money, we just want to see how we can move agile and get something minimum which is started, but does not need to be super scalable or anything.
Yeah, so for that reason, I think AWS is really good. I think you can consider AWS.
Hmm,
And a couple of dollars, I think you need to pay. It should most of the free tier
hmm.
you can get the services.
Okay.
So first thing, right? Like I'll talk about few services very high level.
Hmm.
There is a Route 53 is there. You can first you have to buy some domain, right? So I usually go and buy domain. I don't see much difference in price, but if you want to compare, you can compare with GoDaddy or some other platform.
Hmm.
But I feel comfortable here as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It is a bit slow as page is coming up. But anyway,
Hmm.
Route 53 has multiple purpose. Here you can go and buy the domain name.
Okay.
Okay. So here's a domain register. I have two domain name.
Hmm.
Sketchnotes and Twindle.
Huh.
So you can do the pretty much basic thing. And also after you doing the purchase the domain name, right?
Hmm.
You have to create something known as hosted zones. Maybe you can create some other dedicated video, but not today.
Hmm.
Oh, I'll give some high level idea of which the services you need. So this is Twindle
Hmm.
Co.
Hmm.
And this service, it will be pointing to the S3 bucket. If you use the same bucket name,
Hmm.
then if you access it, right, then you can deploy that to your front end code. You may be using Svelte,
Oh,
you may be using
okay.
React.
Huh. Huh.
So because all the static file, right, you can call some Ajax call that would be API differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, see here, dev.sketchnote.co, and you can just create whatever you like.
Okay. Okay. So how do you upload your final build project here?
There are some commands available. Like AWS comes with AWS CLI. You need to get the token,
Hmm.
or you can
Hmm.
just simply click upload file and upload your build file.
Okay.
But if you can Google it, I am pretty much sure you can figure it out, or we can create a separate discussion for that.
Sure.
But getting some basic idea, like, there are tons of article available on the online. But only one limitation of S3 bucket, right? It will be giving only HTTP endpoint.
Hello?
For the
Yeah.
initial, maybe it is fine. I'm running in HTTP, but if you need HTTPS in front of this S3, you need to go through this CloudFront. But same thing, S3, you don't need to do anything. That will be still remain there. You have to still deploy. That is the basic thing. CloudFront is not going to replace S3 bucket. And S3 bucket is damn cheap and lots of free tier is available, so it won't cost any money.
Okay.
So in the CloudFront, once you can create some distribution. Then you point to that S3 bucket. So here you will get the CDN and HTTPS. It is also free tier it has, but after some point it will charge money. But the money price is very $1 to $2 maybe maximum. But as long as you don't need, you don't need to pay that much. Okay. So all the cost will be, if you're not running bulk operation, it will be good to go. So you got the idea, right? You have to Route 53 or domain you have to buy, or if you buy from third party, Route 53 you have to do some configuration.
Okay.
In S3 bucket, your all the source code, all your file will be located. HTML, JavaScript file. If you need HTTPS, you need to go through CloudFront.
Okay.
Or you can consider the serverless also nowadays. So are you tighted with the server platform or serverless also fine with you?
Right now, I'm not sure. I have not decided that way.
Serverless is very cheap. You can definitely, it would be good learning for you as well. For 1 million requests per month is free.
Okay. Okay.
And you will only get chargeable once you get the request.
That is for API side, right?
The serverless, yeah, API side. Now front-end side you cover, right?
Okay.
Route 53, S3 bucket and CloudFront. But let's assume that you don't want to go serverless, that we can talk separately what is the benefit of it. Let's say you want to create a simple EC2 instance. So EC2 instance, when you create the account, right, for fast tier, one micro instance is free.
Got it. Yeah.
So that should be
But
sufficient.
I think I have done previously taken that 1 year thing. So might not be possible now.
Okay.
But yeah, so how much of a capacity should I take for this?
Yes, just micro instance should be good enough. And if you need it, right, changing is in the fly, you can change it. As if you are running because if you want to do simple application, right, it is not doing the data processing. Are you planning to do the data bulk processing in the EC2 instance?
Not much.
So good thing is that, right, anytime if you face issue, like you start with very minimal. Whenever you want something, you just create it. Or if you don't want to pay some money.
So we don't need to like reset up the entire virtual machine for this if we're changing the instance type.
No. There is nothing need to do anything. You have to do that.
Okay.
And if your instance is stopped, right, you don't need to pay anything.
Oh, okay.
Where is my instance gone? I don't know. I deleted or what.
So this option that you selected right now, it is location that we have to give first.
Yeah, that is the reason. That is a bit important. Like if you want to, your audience is Indian audience, then you have to use like Mumbai region.
Okay. That is for latency purposes.
Yes.
Speed will be faster.
It won't make much difference, but I would recommend that choose Mumbai and go on add on that, whichever the location your user is there.
Okay.
Yeah, later point of time it would be difficult to change, but anyway, it is not very impossible. See, this is the instance, micro instance. Micro is like you can read the stats, like it's like 512 MB RAM or something like that. But this is good to have, you know, or your friend account you can create, or you can create another email account, you know. So that will help you on that front. But this is very much sufficient for your testing purpose. It should be good enough. So it will give like static IP. Static IP means it won't going to change. And then because you need to the login capabilities, right? So you have a service known as Cognito. I think you can also see in that.
Yeah, I searched something and I got this Cognito.
Yeah, Cognito, I am also recently set up. It is a bit confusing. You have to spend some time on that, but it is up to 50,000 active user. It is free.
Yeah, that's a good amount actually.
Yeah, but I not got much experience. I use in the company as well, but this is one-time setup thing.
Yeah.
So, but I set up for SketchNotes as well. So here you can tie it up with, you know, user pool and identity pool. You have to create the user pool. It is a bit confusing. I did not like this very well.
Okay, so this also has social media login like Google or Twitter.
Yeah, it has Google, Twitter, Facebook. These three I am aware of it.
Okay.
So I connected to Google and able to do that.
Okay, great.
So
And,
it is good in that sense.
And what about like enterprise things like LDAP or those kind of?
Yeah, all
idea?
these things are there. All federated and everything. It is a bit complex, but it is feature. All feature is available. But I prefer that very simpler one. Okta or something differently in open source is simpler to configure. But once you configure it, is no problem. So once you have Cognito, right? You need some API gateway.
Okay.
Or you can do directly under EC2 instance also. Yeah, you can do API gateway skip for the initial thing. The EC2 instance, whether you are using Kotlin or something, directly install some library to talk to Cognito to do the authentication authorization. Later point of time, usually people do the API gateway. So there it will, before you hit the request to your API, so it will check that user is valid or not.
Okay. Got it. So that is for load balancing purpose or like security purpose?
No, it is simple security purpose. Like load balancing purpose, you don't need to go for Docker or anything like that. Don't go Docker. It is overkill unnecessarily.
Okay.
It doesn't cause any benefit for you at the initial stage. If you need like more EC2 instance, better to do scaling is two types. One is horizontal scaling, one is vertical scaling. Vertical scaling means you can 512 MB RAM, you can push up to 1 gig, 4 gig, like 8 gig, you can scale it up. So that would be sufficient in most of the cases. And usually system won't die for no reason.
Got it.
See, in India, like IRCTC also down for so many times, but people don't care. So if your website down for 1 or 2 times, also it is not going to be a big deal.
Yeah, especially initially, I guess very few people will be using. So
yeah, so it is not going to be down. Even though it will be, that is vertical scaling you can do for any time, any much amount. Even though you need to have put one more, then you can put one more EC2 instance, like horizontal scaling also you can do. And you can put a load balancer at that time. But that says it would be, by the time you will be much more knowledgeable about EC2 infrastructure.
Yeah.
So for the starting, just go with the minimum EC2 instance and you can change anytime, any day, anytime. That is a benefit.
Okay.
But I never tried with Nano. I'm not sure like Java based JVM will work or not. That is very small one. Micro is good enough.
Okay. So one doubt I have is this we already mentioned that we have that S3 storage and we are configuring with the Route 53. So the static part will be taken care of. But what about the this API? If I want it in the same domain, how will we configure that?
Yeah, only Route 53 can configure it point to this EC2 domain because like here sketchnotes www.sketchnotes go to S3 and api.sketchnotes.com will go to the IP
Okay.
address.
So subdomain wise, we are adjusting it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, like that only most people will do.
Okay, got it.
Or you can simply point to IP address also, it will work as long as it is static IP. But if you want to configure, you define. But just to play around, you can just point to IP address and do some code setting, it will work.
Okay, so then what about HTTPS for the REST API? For the REST API, do we need to configure anything for
Yeah,
HTTPS?
that is bit case. There are a couple of options available. One, that's the reason I suggested to API gateway. There you will get the HTTPS by default.
Got it.
If you don't
Otherwise,
want
we have to
that,
implement. Otherwise, I have to implement in the Kotlin server.
Yeah, there are lots of free certification provider available that you can do. Or if you put a load balancer, you can get HTTPS by default. But EC2 instance, you won't get HTTPS by default.
Okay, got it.
AWS want to mint money.
Of course.
So they want to use lots of services. But easy way is to get API gateway.
Yeah, got it.
That is very simple configuration. And earlier it was a bit complex, but now they simplified it drastically. So you can use this HTTP endpoint and you can just put this IP address one side and your will be HTTPS.
Okay.
And there you can give the domain configuration, not to point to EC2, but pointing to API gateway.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
A little bit of learning, but this is in high level.
Got it. So then from this, the next thing I want is the database access. So how to do that part?
Database installed directly into the EC2 micro instance for the starting up. So that won't be good for production scalable, but it would save you some money. But eventually, I would recommend not to. There is a RDS, Relational Data Service, AWS. Fast it is 25 gig or something is free. That is a well-maintained database. They have security like regular snapshot taking and backup and something like that. So once you go popular, better to spend some little bit money on that. Not much, like $10, $5, something same case. So not very heavy.
Okay, got it.
But that is a managed database. There are a couple of options available. Postgres or MySQL, it doesn't bother. So all are supported here.
Okay, so initially I will just do install in the EC2 itself.
Yeah, initially do that. Just for POC, other thing, just for do that EC2 only. So you know, management also would be simple. You log into one SSH and no configuration, nothing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, always better to start slowly. Okay. Then any day you can, if you don't want to migrate, you can just uninstall that Postgres and point to that other environment.
Got it. And for migration, like you would recommend something like a Flyway or something like that?
Yeah, that is for Spring one. That is for creating the DDL and like update script like that. You can use it.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the application side of it. But initially you don't need also. That also you can skip it. I don't do that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Initially you can just create simple. See, it is for side project, right? Better to I learn in a hard way. Better to keep a stack very simple. Avoid like all this configuration and other thing, because then it will cause lots of issues. Then you have to struggle unnecessarily. Because you will have 1, 2, 3 table maximum.
Yeah.
Hardly 1 or 2 column you will going to add.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Simply using, because that all these things managed for big project, you know, who have like hundreds of tables. People don't know what's going on.
Got it. So until that stage, we can just do it manually. That is easier.
Yeah, because our detail would be simple, right? It will keep
Yeah,
on changing. To keep
Ah,
track about the fly weight and that versioning and all these things, it is nonsense.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Then, yeah, then last thing is the email, I think, just to be able to send an email. I think there is some email service.
Yeah,
right?
SES is available.
Huh.
So is there some small configuration was there? Like
Hmm.
then you can send some email, API will be available.
Hmm, hmm.
So you have to do some configuration and able to send the email. I'm
Okay.
not sure how much free tier is available, but some free tier would be available here also.
Yeah, I think I also saw some default per month they're giving some free.
Yeah.
So this so does this email go from our domain name or any idea about that?
Yeah, you can configure like from your domain as well. You can create some alias. All this is available.
And does this give us like an email account to log into or something like that, like Gmail or something?
No, it won't give anything. Yeah, as per I know. But
Okay.
all the SMTP configuration is available. So in the Gmail, you can configure on that.
Okay.
So in Gmail, you can add
like if
any
anyone
other
is-
SMTP or IMTP client, but you don't have any more client to check your email.
Okay. So like if they are sending a reply to that same email, right? Just thinking how to capture that.
You can just use that configuration. I have not seen nobody is using. Maybe it is there somewhere, but nobody is using it. You once you get the SMTP setting right in your Google Gmail, you can go and go to setting and add a multiple account.
Okay.
Or
that
any
will come in my
client or any Google mail client you can use and you can configure on that.
Got it. Okay. Then I think this covers a lot of things. But is there anything else that you feel for anyone building an application, so we should be remembering about AWS or some other service that is kind of essential?
Yeah, one very critical thing, like whenever you create a account, like your email account, always set up the MFA. I think it is mandatory now. For your test account also set up MFA, multi-factor authentication.
So that with the Google Authenticator app or something like that.
Yeah, because once your account is hacked, so you'll get lots of money. If some hacker uses it, they'll use for bit mining or something like that.
Okay, got it.
So better to be carefully store this, because this is not like if email also lost, nothing major will. It would be bad, but it's fine. You won't get charged significant money immediately.
Got it.
But if Amazon is gone, then if you forget about using it, you don't know what's going on. And also some billing alert you set up $5 or $10, something like that.
Okay.
So that once you're getting some nonsense thing, something, so you'll get alert mail. So you know that something is fishy and you directly go delete account or block it.
Got it.
And feel happy to raise support ticket. Go to support center and there very freely you can raise ticket and technical issues.
Okay.
So you can chat it, call them, and
okay. Oh, nice.
So that's a good thing. So that is free of cost.
Okay. That's good.
They'll help you more to the query.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that at all. This is looking very overwhelming, and also first thought I had was I'll ask you. But yeah, what you're saying makes sense. If they have a good support system, we can talk to them also.
Yes. Whichever the technical doubt you have, they'll immediately help.
Okay. Great.
I learned I don't search Google much. If I struggle a little bit, I open a chat.
Nice.
Yeah, several times
Yeah,
I do.
always good to have a human to talk to.
No, because they are working on this concept, and this AWS sometimes very specific you may not know, because they know all this thing.
Yeah,
they can access all your account, all these things. So it would be.
Okay.
But basic thing like that, you should better search and get some basic idea. But if you are struggling, you're failing something, you can always reach out to them.
Yeah, got it.
So all good, or any further question here?
Yeah, I think this is about it for getting started. So once I try doing this myself and then trying to figure out all the integration, then if I'm stuck with something, I'll ask you again.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thanks, Kane.
Great. Thanks, Praful.
Bye-bye.